Well, the second round of the playoffs, they're now done for three out of the four series. What a surprise. Last night, three sweeps. And we now know who are going to play for the Eastern Conference Championship. It's been a wild playoffs around the Ontario Hockey League. And I kind of figured going in that all four would probably go about maybe 6 or 7 games. But no, Kitchener, Sudbury, Ottawa, their playoff runs have all come to an end. So it's been quite the series. And we now know the North Bay Battalion and the Oshawa Generals, they'll meet in the Eastern Conference Final. Well, the London Knights, they're going to wait and see who they'll face between Sault Ste. Marie and Saginaw. And, of course, those two, they're going to play Game 5 tonight at the Dow Event Center. But that series tied at 2. So it's been a lot of fun to follow. And when you take a look at the North Bay Battalion in particular, they are now going into back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals. Last year, they fell to the Peterborough Petes, and then this year, they get to take on the Oshawa Generals. It's been very impressive what this North Bay Battalion team has been able to do, because if you look back, they were also in the Eastern Conference Final in 2022 against the Hamilton Bulldogs. Before that, North Bay and Oshawa, they met back-to-back seasons in 2014 and 2015 in the Eastern Conference Final. So for North Bay, that's 5 Eastern Conference Final appearances in their 10 seasons in North Bay since that move from Brampton, which is quite remarkable when you look at it. This franchise has had a lot of success, still looking for their first OHL championship since they entered the league in 1998 in Brampton, but still a job well done for this North Bay organization, and playing a team they're very familiar with in playoff hockey, the Oshawa Generals. For Oshawa, they were last in the Eastern Conference Final back in 2019, since they went back-to-back in 2014, 2015. So I think this could be a very fun Eastern Conference Final between the Generals and the Battalion. Of course, I'll do an Eastern Conference playoff preview video. Expect that early next week. Well, the London Knights, this is just the third time since 2014 that they've made it to a Western Conference Final. Of course, they were there last year for their run to the OHL Championship, where they fell short to Peterborough, and they were also there in 2016. So I'll do the Eastern Conference playoff preview next week, and once we know who the London Knights will play, I'll also do a Western Conference playoff preview video. And with the teams that have been eliminated, I'll be doing an off-season video for Kitchener, Ottawa, and Sudbury. I expect those to be next week, because I'm still wrapping up the videos looking at the teams who are eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. But man, that Sudbury Wolves video is going to be fascinating, because this was a very stacked offense that the Sudbury Wolves had. This may have been one of the best teams that Sudbury's had in their 50-year history. They went in as a favorite to win the Eastern Conference, and then they get swept in the second round by North Bay. So I know there's a lot of questions around the Sudbury Wolves organization going forward, and I'll do a bit of a deep dive as to how the season went and what can we expect of the Sudbury Wolves going forward. So those are future videos to come forward. And yesterday, I didn't have time to mention it in a video that Caleb Lawrence, the London Knights, he received a 5-game suspension, and that was for a head check in game number 3. I believe it was Motu who took that hit. So he's already missed 1 game, so he didn't play last night for the London Knights. So he's got 4 games remaining, and with the way the London Knights are playing, they've won all 8 games so far. It kind of made it look easy against Flint and Kitchener at times. So Caleb Lawrence, he might not be back in the London Knights lineup until game 1 of the OHL final, if they sweep the West final yet again. So Caleb Lawrence, of course, picked up at the OHL trade deadline from Ottawa. He's an overage forward, great in the face-off circle, also that physical presence. So he will be missed for the London Knights. But one thing that's been constant all year for London is this next man up approach. They seem to have no problems calling up players from their depth to fill in the void for players who are missing time due to injury or suspension. And you have to give credit to Dale Hunter and his coaching staff. He's got everyone buying in. They are probably one of the more physical teams in the Ontario Hockey League. They're the most penalized during the regular season. They also had quite a few suspensions during the regular season as well. But their game plan, it seems to be working. They have swept both the first and the second rounds, and now they get a little bit of rest, because you have to figure there's some injuries going on. Ruslan Gazizov, he missed the first 2 games of the playoffs, and I don't know if he's 100% just yet, but he's still out there getting some his playing time. And then also Jacob Julian, another hat trick last night. So this is a very talented London Knights team, and it's going to be fascinating to see how they stack up against either Saginaw or Sault Ste. Marie. And of course, those two, they're battling quite hard. So I think for the London Knights, they're quite excited to have some rest and to recoup after that series against the Kitchener Rangers. But whoever they face, man, oh man, that Western Conference final has a lot of potential. And just before we end this video, just wanted to mention that Braden Hache, he's been suspended 2 games for a slew foot that happened in Game 4. So the Saginaw Spirit captain will be out of the lineup until Game 7, if that's how far the series goes between Sault Ste. Marie and Saginaw. And of course, the Spirit, they also played without Zane Parekh. He didn't play in game number 4 due to an illness. It sounds like he should be in the lineup tonight, but boy, oh boy, would that be hard if they don't have Hache or Parekh in the lineup. So hopefully Zane Parekh is 100% after dealing with an illness. And of course, still no update on the goaltending for Saginaw with Oak. He took that collision from Bryson McConnell-Barker in game number 2 and did not make the trip to Sault Ste. Marie. So we'll wait and see if Oak returns to the lineup tonight or if they just keep going with Lalonde. Lalonde looked really good there in game number 3, and then game 4, Sault Ste. Marie just shut things down, and we're able to get the shutout for the win there. So that series continues to go along. It's going to be fun to see if this one goes the distance like many had thought, as Saginaw and Sault Ste. Marie continue to go toe-to-toe. And that's the last series remaining in the second round of the OHL playoffs. So let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts, because this is how I see it from the booth. We've got the suspensions, and now we've got the teams that have advanced to the Eastern Conference Final and the London Knights. So it's the playoffs. It's been a fun one, and we'll see what happens next. So let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on any of the matchups, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. We'll talk to you again soon.